Hey team, it's Joe and
Abram.
he's back. And Abram, we just had Patrick in here not too long ago. We were talking about our expectations for 2026, and some of the things that we're going to do is get back to basics. And what's more basic than attention to detail?
So right, Joe. Paying attention to details, so important. Anticipating our guests' needs, it makes them feel valued, cared for, creates loyalty to not only the Hilton Austin, but the Hilton brand.
That's exactly right. So the devil is in the details, right? What paying attention to detail really means to our guests, as Abram said, it makes them feel valued. It makes them feel like they were important, that when they arrive or at any point during the stay, the little things that are meaningful for them are meaningful for us. Sometimes they'll tell us those things up front. Sometimes they'll be in their CRM profile. And sometimes it's just in the way that we do things on the job when we're with our guests.
That's right. And another great way, Joe, to pay attention to details and to learn more about how we can help our guests is to ask those open-ended questions. We ask those open-ended questions, we're going to get far more information about our guests in ways that we can assist them, help them, surprise and delight them, make lasting memories, all of that.
And sometimes the details can be the key things that make all the difference in a guest stay, like a food or feather allergy.
Exactly. I recently stayed at a Hilton property with my family, and the housekeeping team did a great job of paying attention to details. They noticed that my children had each one of their special stuffed animals with them. And so when they made the bed with their stuffed animals tucked in directly in the center. They knew it would make my children delighted, and it did. They still bring up this to me to this day about the time that Mr. Stripe and Sonic the Hedgehog got tucked into bed in Dallas.
And sometimes it's the details that we don't think of first when it comes to our service delivery. The details can be making sure that we're well presented, that our clothing, our uniform is neat and pressed and clean, that we look professional in our station, that the words that we use are specific to the guest experience. So when the details are delivered correctly from our team to our guests, it really conveys a sense of professionalism and, again, a sense of value for our guests. It tells them that if it's important for you to look and act professionally, that they must be someone important that's checking in.
Exactly. It's also important to remember when we're interacting with the guest, a great way to show we're paying attention to details is really in the way we communicate as well, maintaining that eye contact, using engaging language, having a professional and friendly tone to our voice, and open body language.
Absolutely correct. And don't be afraid to take notes. Sometimes the details get lost in the shuffle, and it's not because we had the intention of forgetting things. We just got busy. Make sure that if guests are giving us details that are going to be important to them, they're important to us. So make sure that we write them down.
Speaking of being busy, Joe, sometimes at the desk or even in HR, right? Because this is also how we engage with each other as team members. Things can get a little backed up. There can be a line. A guest can be waiting. A team member could be waiting. It's important that we go ahead and acknowledge them, even if it's just making eye contact and a simple hand gesture, letting them know we'll be right with them. That can make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. So remember, the details are the small things, but they can be the most important things. They tell our guests that they're valued, that they're important, and that we're happy they're here. So make sure that you pay attention to the details. Stop by HR, let Abram know that you saw the video, put your ticket in for our next CVR drawing, and until then, we'll see you next time.